Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi. There's another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are in Hypnotic's account today. He let me come on so I could check out one of the other new champions. We're going through all of them now, it seems like. Fodbor the Bard. I mean, I'm loving the D&D theme going on here. I'm loving the new dwarves. They're great. Fodbor is another one that has a very, very specific spot in this game, and I think you guys are going to really like it. It's going to help us a lot in one of the dungeons that is super difficult for everybody, Fire Knight. He is completely 100% designed for that. No one has to tell me that. It's so obvious. There's no question about it. So I definitely want to take a look at his kit. I want to bring him in there and try him out. I don't think he's going to be super useful in any other part of this game. And I'll go over his kit, kind of explain why. So we're pretty much going to look at him just in Fire Knight, because I really think that's where he's going to shine. That said, he has some skills that can be used in a lot of different areas, actually pretty much everywhere in this game. So it's not like he's limited only to that. Just that's where he's really going to be best at. But you're going to start seeing him in some even end game accounts runs for Fire Knight because he is so useful in there. So let's go ahead, take a look really quickly at his kit. All right, guys, so this is Fodbor. I'm loving him. I mean, the pipe, already a fan. The monocle, please. The beard, look at that. Folded neatly beard. I mean, I have a soft spot for people that can take care of their facial hair. Not to mention he's got the sword, the horn, the loot in the bag. Kind of an unusual choice there, but hey, we all got our particulars that we do. He looks really great. He's got the axe here in his hand. I mean, just a very cool looking champion. Nothing flashy, not necessarily one of the best designs, I'd say, but I think he looks pretty darn sweet. Most importantly, the way we have him kitted out today, I put him in lifesteal just because I figured it'd probably be a good choice when you're actually going to use him, and a little bit of accuracy here. He's obviously going to need accuracy because his big thing is going to be his debuff. So just to give you a quick idea, 192 speed. He does have a really good base attack. Now, I didn't stack attack on him. I put HP on him. I want him to survive for the dungeons. I'm sure he can do some damage. So I did give him 100% crit rate, 130 crit damage. We'll get a good idea if stacking attack, if stacking crit damage would actually up that a lot. But I figured for this run, this is probably where most people are going to end up building him, at least initially. Not everything is rolled up, so we can definitely increase these stats. But where we're at right now, that's pretty solid. Mastery-wise, I went down the support tree. He does place debuffs that we're going to need. That's kind of his thing. So I went with some accuracy. I went with Arcane Celerity to get some more turn meter boost for dungeons. That's the way you want to go. Also went with Cycle of Magic to get those cooldowns done. The Lore of Steel just to improve that accuracy a little bit, get more speed if we put speed sets on them, depending on what you'd like to do. You could very easily go Evil Eye here and get some turn meter reduction as well. They're both viable options for you here. And then went Sniper and went Master Hexer just to get a better chance to land these debuffs and a better chance to extend them. Offensively, kind of a weird approach here with this one. Offensive kit, we went, obviously, some attack stuff here. I love taking Whirlwind of Death so we get more speed when we kill people. I just went with Cycle of Violence in case he hits hard, can, reduce, again, some of the cooldowns. Then we went to Kill Streak, so as he kills people, he does more and more damage. And finished it off with Giant Slayer. He has a triple attack on his A1. That's something he's definitely going to be using against Fire Knight. I want to be able to maximize that as much as possible. That's why I went there. There's a million ways you guys could do this. If you don't want to go with Giant Slayer, you could easily come to Flawless Execution or even Helm Smasher would be fine. You could come down the left tree here, get more damage on his A1. You don't have to take all these things over here. There's lots and lots of options as far as approaches to this. The one thing we should talk about, though, are the skills. Now, the big skill, this is the one where I say Fire Knight, Fire Knight, Fire Knight, triple attack on the A1, and a chance to place that heal reduction. Heal reduction is huge on Fire Knight because otherwise he'll heal up every time he puts that shield back. This prevents that. So it's a really big buff to get. 15% chance. So not a huge percent chance. My assumption is this is on every single hit. So if you take 15 times 3, it's basically kind of like a 45% chance. I know that's not actually how, chance works, but the point is you have a pretty good chance as you hit it over and over, and when you book them up, it books up to a 30% chance. So it makes it much easier with Sniper. That's 35% chance. Most likely you're going to land heal reduction every time you attack with the A1. Most likely. Very similar to what Vizier does with his debuff extension ability. His A2 here, he has a chance to steal 2 random buffs from the target, single target, and then place a stun on that target if they don't have any active buffs. So this is great. It's a single target stun or a buff steal. It's not a spectacular skill, but anytime you have a stun ability, that's always really nice. This isn't bad. I mean, we'll see how hard it hits, and I think that's really going to determine whether this is worth using at all or not. But you know, it's something going on there with the A2, and then the A3. This is actually one of the ones that makes him so good. And actually, I think replaces Rowan as a Fire Knight champion. He brings in decreased defense and on AoE, books up to 100% chance. It's a 4-turn cooldown, so definitely a little bit longer. That's why we take some of those cooldown reduction skills on the mastery trees. But AoE decreased defense is something you have to have for waves. You have to have it. You need it for the boss as well. Considering the fact that we're bringing not only that, but the heal reduction with him, it makes him perfect for Fire Knight. He's the proper affinity. This skill, this AoE decreased defense, is why Fodbor, it's why the Bard can be used in all areas of the game because of that skill. Because it's useful in every dungeon run that you're going to do. It's useful in Arena. It's useful in Clan Boss. You can bring him in any area of the game. He's going to be best in Fire Knight, and there's probably better options in other spots of the game. But if you don't have them, Fodbor is going to be a good one. So let's go ahead, take him into Fire Knight, see what he can't do, and yeah, we'll check it out here. So head on over to the Fire Knight. I like to sing when I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, cool. Here we go. Let's go ahead. We're just going to replace Stagnite with Fodbor. I think it makes sense. We can still use Seer here. I don't see any reason not to. Now, Stagnite obviously brings some other things. Brings decreased speed, brings decreased attack. So it's maybe not a one-for-one exchange. And as always with these, especially with the Fire Knight, you really have to construct a team around what you're doing. So maybe not the best choice, but it's one that I'm comfortable using, at least right now, just to check him out. So let's go ahead and go in and see what we can do here. All right, we can speed it up a little bit. Don't have to run so slow. I like his little pudgy self over there. Yeah, we can just go, let's click auto, see kind of how he works. Decreased defense, first skill used right off the gate. That's perfect for us. Now, obviously getting decreased attack would be nice. And right there, we tried to do the stun. Apparently our accuracy is not quite high enough, or we just got resisted. Bad RNG on that. But that seems to be the next skill. So use the skills in order. That's easy enough. 1, 2, 3. I mean, 2,000 damage, not a whole lot, honestly. So he doesn't look like a super hard hitter. His attack is not crazy high. His crit damage is not crazy high. And we did get 20k on that A2. So that's not a bad ability, bad skill. Got the stun off. Those are all good things. I don't look at him and say this guy is going to be a major damage dealer. You can see only about 10k across the board with that A3. It's not nothing. It's just not a crazy damage dealing kit. I mean, it is hard to tell. I only give him about 2 times the attack. If we put an attack chest on him, maybe it would be a little bit different. And perhaps it's something we should try out. He is strong affinity here, so the chances of him getting attacked are a lot slimmer. So let's see kind of how he works here with the Fire Knight. With the shield up, there goes. Okay, cool. Seer, excellent. There goes Fodbor. Getting that triple hit in, knocking that shield down, which is kind of what we're looking for. And then Cold Hearts clean it up, of course. There we go. And Fodbor got the decreased defense on already. That's fantastic, I think. Get the turn meter, and it's pretty much GG, I think, at this point here. He does use the A2, so it would be nice if he kind of prioritized a little bit that A1 ability. Would be kind of nice to see him do. We'd rather have that heal reduction than the stun that can't stun. So, but there we go. Look at that. Heal reduction goes up with that triple attack. Boom. And then Arbiter's going to speed us up. Everybody else is going to kind of knock down that shield. He doesn't prioritize the A1 against the shield either, which is a little disappointing. Obviously, you know, the AI in Raid is not the best, so we're just going to have to kind of deal with what we have here. But I think you can see he's an effective champion. You know, being strong affinity really helps, makes a big difference. Being able to take down the shield, hopefully here, yep. Triple attack is great, guys. I mean, there's really very little that's as good as that. Unfortunately, like the timing, the speed tuning of this is not ideal. But I think you can see kind of like how useful he can be. We're probably going to wipe here in a second, but you get the idea. Put him some speed. I mean, I honestly, because he doesn't look like he's hit particularly hard, I don't think I'd even build crit rate on him. I think I'd just build him tanky, let him survive, let him get those debuffs out, put accuracy on him, and just kind of go to town that way. He also might be good in Doom Tower when you're trying to. There's certain champions that will, or certain bosses and certain waves where the champions are going to heal themselves. The Siffy waves come to mind a lot. The Cardinal waves come to mind a lot. He might be really good in those because he's still going to bring you that decreased defense, which you need. He's also going to bring you heal reduction, and that's going to be really nice, preventing those champions from continuing to heal up over and over again and making those fights so tough. So he could have some usage outside of that, but I mean, I think you can see he's designed for Fire Knight. I mean, triple attack on the A1 with the heal reduction and then that AoE decreased defense, pretty perfect. And if they could make it so that A2 didn't work on the boss, that'd be better. But you know, we kind of have to we have to understand the AI in this game just isn't very good. So we'll have to just kind of roll with those punches there. But I'm actually really impressed with him. Now, there are some negatives. There's actually one huge negative. It's kind of a constant thing. I might have mentioned this in a video or two before. He takes 4, 9, 13 books. This guy takes 13 books, and this is a low number. I hate this, guys. Hate this. I think it's the biggest trash thing that they keep making these champions take so many books. It's ridiculous. They give us 20 new champions, and then all of them take, I don't think any of them take less than 10 books, and most of them take 13 or more. One of them takes 20. It's ridiculous. Okay, enough rant. This is not what I do here. I don't rant on here, so I'm not going to do that right now. Point is, guys, I know this is kind of a quick video because that's Fodbor. I don't see him being an arena champion. You can bring him in there. Decreased defense is fabulous. I don't see him being a Doom Tower champion, but you can bring him in there as well. Where I do see him is in Fire Knight, and I think he's going to be spectacular in Fire Knight. So, especially for those of you that are struggling, trying to progress, Fodbor is going to be fantastic for that. And he should last you towards the end game. Now, as you get end game level, you're really focused more on using Cold Heart. Quadruple, like a 4-hit attack on that A1 kind of does an even better job with heal reduction, really kind of takes it to that next level. She has turn meter, max HP, all that great stuff. So she's definitely going to be a better option long term. But what Fodbor does do is he allows you to build him tanky or for attack, either way. Because he's strong affinity, he's not going to get targeted in the waves. And that makes it a lot easier to bring him into those teams, especially when you're early on, you don't have the gear to build your Cold Hearts tanky, or you don't have the healing or the revive available to you. I think Fodbor is a really good option. So definitely a good champion. He's one of those ones where I think he's kind of situational, but he fits that niche. And I think as long as a champion has something that they're good at, they're good for the game. And he's definitely has something that he's good at. So if you're progressing, I think he's definitely a champion you want to check out. As always, guys, I have little clips on my Game On account, and just search #DeadwoodJedi if you want to see my first impressions of Fodbor as compared to my last impressions right now, as well as all the other champions there. And I have a bunch of other little things going on, pointing out different champions to use for different unkillable teams, things like that, some shard openings on there. So it might be fun to check out. Do recommend that. Otherwise, guys, it has been a pleasure. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscription and like button. Until next we meet, I am the Deadwood Jedi.